I can also, navigate through time. Maybe I'm looking at declinations or I'm looking at the aspects table. The viewer is following me around in the app. I could be teaching a class. I could have maybe a family of people that are in different places. Hey astrologers, I'm excited to show you a cool new feature in Astrotheoros. It's called Live Sessions. And what this lets you do is broadcast what you see in the app to some viewers. It uses a cool technology called WebSockets and it's pretty fun. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you how to enable this feature and some use cases. So here I am in Astrotheoros. I'm on my desktop computer, but you can obviously do this from any of your devices. And what I'm going to do is open up the settings and go to the General tab. And near the bottom, you're going to see a little toggle to enable live sessions. There's a little beta indicator on there, and when you turn this on, you'll get a little note too. This feature is in beta, which basically means it's still under development. There could be some rough edges in there. So with that said, now that that's enabled, when I close settings, you'll see in this main navigation area that there's a new button there. And when I click this button, I'll get a dialog that asks me if I'm ready to start a live session. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, start live session. And there we go. You can see I'm now broadcasting. Up here in the corner, you see that it says I'm live. There's a little 0 in parentheses there. That's because nobody's viewing my session right now. And if I click on that, I've got a couple options. I can share the session link, I can copy the session link directly to my clipboard, or I can stop broadcasting. I'm gonna go ahead and copy the session link to my clipboard, and then I will switch to a browser window. And if I visit this link, so I could be visiting it from my browser window, my friend could be visiting from around the world, and when I paste the link, it's going to load the session, and you can see that it's cleaned up. There's no buttons or anything like that showing up, but let me go ahead and get a little split screen set up here. And there we go. You can see that now there's a little 1 indicating that there's 1 connection being made to my session. And if I navigate around the app, maybe I'm looking at declinations or I'm come over here and I'm looking at the aspects table, the viewer is basically following me around in the app. I can also, navigate through time. I can select some things on the chart and they keep up right with me. And what's really cool, is if I open this charts drawer, notice they're not seeing that. They're not seeing all of my business in the charts drawer and all of my potential clients and their birthdays and stuff like that. But when I switch to a chart, they're keeping up right with me. And they also get a nice optimized experience, a little bit better maybe than a screen share, especially if they're on like a smaller device and maybe you're on your desktop computer and you're sharing your screen and they're getting this tiny little view while you try to like point stuff out. In this case, they get a nice, full screen view. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like in a little more detail. I'll open up this iPhone emulator. So this is just like iPhone software running on my computer. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste that same session link. And here we go. You can see I have a little number 2 in there now because there's 2 viewers following my session. And still, yeah, if I start changing stuff and I navigate around, maybe I want to get fancy with the keyboard shortcuts, and I want to see Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud on a bi-wheel. Both the first browser session and this phone session are following right along. And that brings up another cool use case. I could be teaching a class. I could have maybe a family of people that are in different places that all want to follow along. I could have dozens of people following along with my session here. Here you can see what happens if I go to the zodiacal releasing module. You'll get a little notice that this isn't shareable right now. I am going to work on that in time. Let me know if you really need it and I'll bump it up in the priorities list. Another thing I might do in a client session, if I am sharing my screen and I want to capture like a good recording for them, is I might use the viewer link and just join that and put that in a secondary display. Maybe I have 2 monitors or something like that. And when I screen share, I'll just share that screen so that in the screen recording, they get this nice pretty view. And then in my primary device, I'm controlling, the chart and what gets seen and stuff like that. Okay, and then when you're done with your session, all you got to do is come up here and you can say stop broadcast, and you'll see all the viewers now get a little session concluded message and they'll no longer be following you through the app. I feel like there's a number of cool creative ways that this could be used. Like another one I was thinking about is maybe I'm going to do some sort of presentation and I want to be able to have an astrology wheel on a projector and I want to be able to like navigate around the chart as I explain something. Maybe what I would do is actually open Astrotheoros from my mobile device and I could start a live session from my phone. Now, one thing to note here is that when you go to share the link for a live session from within a mobile device, you're going to want to use the share session link button rather than copy the session link to your clipboard. That way the native share sheet comes up and you can send the link to the session that way. The only reason I say that is because currently if you do switch apps while you have a live session, there's a chance that the session gets disconnected on you. So ideally you just kind of keep the app open while you run a live session. I will improve the reliability of that in time, and feel free to let me know if you encounter any issues there. For now, since this is just in an emulator, I'm going to copy the session link and I'll move that over there. So maybe on my projector now, I just put this browser up, let everyone see that, and then from my device, I can be over here sort of moving throughout time and, isolating certain things I want to discuss. And everyone in the room will be able to follow right along as I navigate around the app. While I'm in the mobile app, another feature that we recently added was the zoom button. You can also enable that via the settings. It's pretty sweet if maybe you wear glasses and you don't wear them all the time, and then you bring up Astrotheoros and you kind of want to be able to pinch zoom and explore the wheel at a little bit bigger size. And it works for the declinations chart as well. So that's a handy new addition you might want to enable. And that's it. That's live sessions. Again, it's new. It's a little experimental. I do think that it opens the door for some cool collaborative potentials in the future. I hope you use it. If you do, please email info@astrotheoros.com. Let us know of your feedback. I personally cannot ask enough for feedback, for emails, for your input. It's funny because my wife and I went out to eat the other day and, unfortunately her food was undercooked, and I'm the type that will never speak up, but my wife always does. And she lets them know and she says, they need to have that feedback. It's important for their business. I'm literally always asking people that use Astrotheoros to email me, send me your complaints, send me your ideas or your wishes or whatever you think that the app should do. I want to build this for the people. I got a little humbled there, I got to be honest. Maybe I'll voice my opinions nicely next time my order is messed up. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this new feature. I hope you give it a shot and maybe incorporate it into your practice. And thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks. Bye.